Excuse me,
What?
can I ask where you're going with that?
Some presenter's got some important presentation he's got to put up on the screen.
Let me tell you what, I know a perfect place for technology like that.
What the? Well, apparently there's a better way. Let's check it out.
Welcome. We're speaking with Skye Cunningham, COO, PSAV. And Skye, let's talk about a very important subject, which is what's going on with the equipment, with the hardware side of the business in terms of meetings and events. Meeting planners have seen all that's happening in terms of content and functionality and gamification, but that's all happening based on hardware. So where are we with hardware?
Well, there's a lot of interesting things going on, Bill. I guess if you look at it, there's a big movement afoot to what was once separate in terms of professional experiences versus people's personal experiences. That is now all getting blended together seamlessly. So as a result, a lot of the equipment in the industry has to be able to serve both functions. We have attendees that will come to a meeting with sometimes 2 or 3 devices. So the opportunity and they want to be able to switch back and forth between their personal and their professional life. So the onus to us is to provide connectivity, interactivity with the AV equipment that allows that ability to happen during the course of a meeting. So
we look at things like monitor size, and it's almost as if you could do anything, almost everything.
it is. The technology continues to evolve, and today you could walk into a meeting room and instead of getting what would have been a traditional 6-foot tripod screen and a projector, you could walk in with an 80-inch monitor. And we see as the cost continues to come down on that kind of product, that's more and more appealing to the customers just because of the impact it can have in their meeting.
And if that's true, if you can do, let's say, almost anything, does that put a special burden then on being creative with what kind of environment do we create? Because if you could say you could do anything.
It does. The complexity grows exponentially in terms of what you can do. So I think if anything, there's an inherent need for planners and the providers of this technology to get together sooner. Can talk about what could be, because it can go in so many different directions. And the good news is what was once reserved for the top 10 to 20% of the meeting planning community based on dollars is now drifting down into much more affordable options for the planner.
So technology as want becomes cheaper and cheaper.
It does.
More affordable.
It does, yes. So you can do a lot more on the same dollar maybe versus what you thought you could do 5 or 10 years ago.
Is one of the challenges to companies like PSAV keeping the inventory, the equipment up to date, because it must change?
It is a huge challenge. It's a huge challenge. The best we can do, or any company can really do, is create a roadmap in terms of what it is we want to do. But unless you have experts that are solely focused on watching trends, watching where the business goes, making sure your product stays relevant for years, it's going to be. Companies can find themselves in a deep hole pretty quickly.
And it must be harder for meeting professionals, knowing their audience's expectations are higher each year.
Very much so.
You wowed me last year, so now the bar is up to here. So
that's very much the case, and we find that of the one thing that's changing beyond all the technologies, it's people's expectations. And you see as consumers get more comfortable working with their mobile devices, this generation is a lot more comfortable with technology. And so obviously they want to take risks in the meeting environment that they may have been afraid to 5 or 10 years ago. So that creates the challenge for us is to try to create those kind of technologies and excitement and memorable meeting experiences with the use of technology.
So it isn't just about building more refined equipment, it's meeting equipment that will deliver against a higher set of expectations.
Yes. And again, it's all about trying to deliver that seamless experience between their personal life and their professional as part of that.
Right. And you do see it in your personal life, people with their heads down, and you got to have a meeting that'll get the heads up.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. It's a world of multitasking, and the nice thing about things that we have out there in the marketplace today is you can walk into meetings and just have purely a wow, for lack of a better term, experience, and it's all about meeting planner ROI and the impact, and them walking away with a message that sticks in their mind, as opposed to just going through a checklist if I went to this meeting. So.
And how are planners able to keep up with all these changes? I mean, is it just a matter of, as you say, going to a third-party provider and saying, just educate me, inform me what's going on. Meetings like this, for example.
Yeah, Bill, that's exactly what it is. It is an ongoing effort to educate what's going on. The technology changes so rapidly, 12, 18 months, is that it's part of our focus is to educate the planner out there as to what is available, how they can leverage it for their audience, and it just grows and grows and grows in terms of the speed in which you need to do that. But they need to find an expert they can rely on and a trusted advisor.
If there was one misunderstanding that planners had about hardware, is there one to come to mind that people just don't, that it's expensive maybe, or that...
Yeah, I think there may be some preconceived ideas about I can't do this because the dollars have changed so much, and it's really worth their while to investigate, what it is, where the pricing has gone with a lot of product, why cutting edge type of equipment still commands a higher price, but the technologies have drifted back to where you can get a very high quality event for a very manageable cost. And so it behooves them to really check out options as opposed just to kind of walk in with a preconceived idea that I can't afford that. Because there's a lot of ways to deliver
So it's not just for big meetings
anymore. Exactly. You can deliver it down almost into a boardroom setting in terms of what you can deliver.
Just as we kind of wrap up, Sky, I know that it's important to you as an industry leader and a company as an industry leader about people. And when I look around at the equipment and the glow from the monitors and the computer boards, everything, where do these people come from? So where do you find good people to tech people?
Well, that's a great challenge, and we have put a big focus on that. It's a big part of our business on a day-to-day basis is to educate people about our industry, because it's a very exciting industry to be in, and a lot of people don't know about it. It's not necessarily you take college curriculum for, so we spend a lot of time knowing, trying to find areas where we see where people could be great fits. And we're all about let's find the right person with the right personality, the right acumen, the right customer service orientation, and then we'll invest dollars in them to keep up with the technology. And so far that's proved very successful for us.
So from your standpoint, you can always teach the technical part, it's the human qualities that you
It's the human qualities that are tough to train too. Right. So the people that inherit the aptitude, the willingness, the passion for the business, we can help fill in the blanks that they may lack after that.
Great. Sky, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bill, for having me.
Your time.
All right.
We've been speaking with Sky Cunningham, Chief Operating Officer, PSAV, about all the changes that are happening in event technology.